Do you know how much Supreme Court work is actually available? Because most lawyers have no idea how massive the volume of Supreme Court work really is. So many of them are struggling to find matters in lower courts while the Supreme Court is overflowing with cases and such few number of advocates on record are available to handle them. I'll give you some data. So the National Judicial Data Grid says that more than 5,000 cases are instituted in this country in the Supreme Court every month. That's at least 70,000 cases every year. And each of these cases needs to be filed through the same 3,789 advocates on record in this country. The imbalance is so extreme that some advocates on record began lending their names as mere signing authorities. And this imbalance created such a problem that Supreme Court had to step in and condemn this practice. And you can find this in this case. The case is called P.K. Subramaniam versus Department of Law and Justice. The Supreme Court came and said that AORs aren't able to responsibly take up more work, and that is true, but think about what that means. That means that clients are stuck, lawyers are losing opportunities, and existing advocates on records are overwhelmed. But the growth isn't going to slow down, right? The number of cases being filed isn't going to reduce. Because every category of dispute, civil, criminal, labor, matrimonial, land, corporate, GST, arbitration, everything will ultimately reach the Supreme Court. And to contextualize this, I'll give you some more data. So commercial disputes worth 1.5 crore are pending across India. International arbitration referrals are rising 15% year on year. Civil appeals grew 8% last year. Criminal appeals over 5%. And electronic filings caused a 32% surge in filings because now it's easier than ever for litigants to approach the Supreme Court. And I'll give you another thing. So about 62% of matters in the Supreme Court involve the government, which means ministries, PSUs, state departments, everyone is actively seeking for capable lawyers and future advocates on record for their impanelment. So the myth that Delhi lawyers have all the Supreme Court work is dead. We personally have helped lawyers from 13 states build Supreme Court practices before even becoming advocates on record, and you can do the same. You don't need to wait 10 or 20 years. You don't need to shift to Delhi. You can start building your Supreme Court practice right now from your home state while preparing for the advocate on record exam. And if you want to understand how exactly someone can do this, how they can get to the Supreme Court, how they can do Supreme Court work even before clearing the exam, how they can prepare for this exam, how they can stay financially stable while they do all of this, how they can build flourishing Supreme Court careers, you should come and join our free 9-hour boot camp. In these 9 hours, we will tell you the exact roadmap of building a Supreme Court practice, and if you want, becoming an advocate on record after that. You shouldn't miss this if you take your career seriously and you want to take it to the national level.